KLT. Follow me, I am the leader. Stepping on them like I'm coming for freedom. Marching on them for them starving, tell me who gon' feed them. They won't walk over X when you need them. Black Panther, no Disney movie, we gon' walk them down with them eagles. Free them, they say what they like it's flattery. I speak the truth in this prophecy. Stay strapped with that sword and the hide to bleed. Like Moses, son, solo, come follow me. Long way from that store where them dollars be. I had that roll with no total, no bother me. Sitting at the top, no monopoly. I ain't the one coming follow me. Running the game so long, need a breather. Stress on my back like they beat them. Gotta stay strong, you must finish my freedom. Gotta stay on, let that switch up that light when they see me. I'm the red in the game, so you better take it easy. Stepping on my toes, show them really wanna see me. They hit it, then they gone Houdini. Trying to make me seem rubbing on my neck, I'm pop out like a genius. Still on my grind, you know we bread. Running it back and I call it a replay. I wanted it back, they on my back. Still wanna balance that swim what we say. I'd like to give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Kahalabno, yo, Bashum Mashat, yo, shot. Just gonna go over a few things, family, to refresh the mind. Stay woke. Okay, let me shut my screen. Okay, we go to the EFF family. What do we find out? We see surveillance technologies. This y'all all see in that family. Okay. For years, there's been ample evidence that authoritarian governments around the world are relying on technology produced by American, Canadian, and European companies to facilitate human rights abuses. From software that enables the filtering and blocking of online content to tools that help governments spy on their citizens. Many such companies are actively serving autocratic governments as repression's little helper. The reach of these technologies is an astonishingly broad. Governments can listen in on cell phone calls, use voice recognition to scan mobile networks, read emails and text messages, censor web pages, track a citizen's every movement using GPS, and can even change email contents while en route to a recipient. Some tools are installed using the same type of malicious malware and spyware used by online criminals to steal credit card and banking information. They can secretly turn on webcams built into personal laptops and microphones and cell phones, not being used. And all of this information is filtered and organized on such a massive scale that it can be used to spy on every person in an entire country, family. Here we go with a few more things before I play this clip. ScienceAlert.com. A new startup wants to transfer your consciousness to an artificial body so you can live forever. Death is the one thing they guaranteed in today's uncertain world. But now a new startup called Humai thinks it might be able to get rid of that inconvenient problem for us too by promising to transfer people's consciousness into a new artificial body. So they want to transfer your soul, your spirit, like they call it consciousness, into another body, artificial, family. Hold on, let me go ahead. Exopolitics.org. Human cloning about to unleash upon the world. Okay. A February 28th report by the New York Times describes how Barbara Streisand paid 50 grand to have two clones made of her favorite pet dog that passed away last year. The story reveals how open source cloning has been quietly developed in scientific laboratories over the last 20 years and is opening the door to human cloning becoming a reality in the near future. This is not a surprising given multiple whistleblowers claims that human cloning was developed by the 1970s in highly classified military projects. So we know it's been going on since the 70s, even before that family, but we have whistleblowers that stated this. Highly classified military projects. I'm gonna play this clip. Now I know we've seen these clips all over. Maybe some people have, some people haven't. Just refreshing your mind to stay woke, family.
And you open the door and you step inside. We're inside our hearts.
All of this that was bad, that everybody said, oh no, we can't invest in that. The government invested in, and now.
A lot of people that found out about this cloning stuff find it very frightening. And yes, it is scary.
Out there, and that is what they were doing.
And you mentioned Kyrie with tonight's draft lottery. We now have the answer for how that. So how do we view that now in totality?
She lost him. I just found it back.
I'm afraid we lost Rachel. We've lost Rachel Nix. All right, come back.
I'm here.
You can hear me?
I'm back to you, Scott. I'm back.
Can you hear me, Rachel?
I can.
Okay, Rachel. One last time.
It's like television.
Bro, watch my nigga Jalen Rose, though. Look at my nigga Jalen Rose. Tell me that's a fucking robot or some shit. That ain't no fucking human being. Look at this nigga. He didn't move, blink, or nothing.
It's been going on for years, family. You got to pay attention.
And a lot of that fear comes from the fact that we've been programmed to believe that we're the only sentient beings on the planet.
Now here's what happens when we take a little closer look and merge the two together. Look at that. The image in the middle is the hybrid image. Look at that.
Genome.gov. The term cloning describes a number of different processes that can be used to produce genetically identical copies of a biological entity. The copied material, which has the same genetic makeup as the original, is referred to as a clone. Researchers have cloned a wide range of biological materials, including genes, cells, tissues, and even entire organisms, such as sheep, and we know humans also, family. Let's read another one. Vox.com. How biohackers are trying to upgrade their brains, their bodies, and human nature. Even if you haven't heard the term biohacking before, you've probably encountered some version of it. Maybe you've seen Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey extolling the benefits of fasting intermittently and drinking salt juice each morning. Maybe you've read about former NASA employee Josiah Zayner injecting himself with DNA using the gene editing technology CRISPR. Maybe you've heard of a Bay Area folks engaging in dopamine fasting. Maybe you, like me, have a colleague who's had a chip implanted in their hand. These are all types of biohacking, a broad term for a lifestyle that's growing increasingly popular, and not just in Silicon Valley, where it really took off. Biohacking, also known as do-it-yourself biology, is an extremely broad and amorphous term that can cover a huge range of activities, from performing science experiments on yeast or other organisms, to tracking your own sleep and diet, to changing your own biology by pumping a younger person's blood into your veins in the hope that it'll fight aging. Yes, that is a real thing, and it's called a young blood transfusion.
full of cancer. If all of those had cancer, this now has it. Okay, so this is treasuries. You all right?
I'm passing out.
Okay, are you okay? You want to hang on?
Passing out.
Okay. Why don't you want to sit down?
Go on.
Okay. All right. Oh. You okay? Okay. Somebody help him, please. Somebody help. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a second.
He's back in a second, all
I
right.
also get asked a lot, am I a clone? From my understanding, Donald has seen a clone of me in the cloning center. I am memory suppressed. However, I do have memories of what fit the description of the cloning center and the arena.
And they put a chip in his body so they could monitor every move he made. And he knew it. They chipped him.
I'm the ODB, as you can see. FBI, don't you be watching me.
The most unconscious shit get the most airplay. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
The government.
Yeah, and then run up on me talking about keep it real. Don't run up on me saying keep it real if you ain't supporting the real. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line.
The government brainwash our people with the mind control theory. That's what they do. So to make sure our people like it, they keep playing that same song. The same song keep playing, you start to like it. You start to get probed with it. You start to get cloned with it. So then for the clone exists, then it just takes over. It takes over the human body. It takes over the spirit. It takes over the soul.
Acts 7:48. Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. So we know the Heavenly Father, the Spirit, does not dwell in clones, robots. He can control our things and destroy all things. He does not dwell in temples made with hands. Family. He's not in clones. He's not in the robots. He will not be with you if you transfer your consciousness into a clone body. He dwells in natural creation, what he created. But he still can control all things, family. Revelation 9:6. And in those days shall men see death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Through all these technological devices and what's going on, family, trying to transfer consciousness, cloning body, definitely transfer the consciousness of your spirit. Let's say you die, they rush you in and transfer you over to a new body, trying to keep you from leaving this place. There's different ways how they do it too, family.
What did you just say?
What's wrong with you?
What did you just call me? Say my name.
Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden, you fucking freak. What's going on? I'm coming over.
No, wait, Marla, I'm not there. You broke your promise. Jesus, Tyler. You fucking talk to her about me. Tyler, what the fuck is going on here? I ask you for one thing. One simple thing. Why do people think that I'm you? Answer me! Sit. Answer me, why do people think that I'm you? I think you know. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Why would anyone possibly confuse you with me? I don't know. You got it. No. Do not fuck with us! Say it. Because... Say it.
They put these things in movies, family,
The same person.
all around you, to
That's
program
right.
you forward,
We are the all-seeing,
get you to want these things,
I don't understand.
to trap you into
Looking
them,
for a way to change your
to
life.
persuade you, to
And not do
entice you
this on your own.
to be a part of it.
All the ways you wish you could be.
These are the things they do, family.
I look like you want to look. I fuck like you want to fuck. I am smart, capable, and most importantly, I'm free in all the ways that you are not.
Oh, no. Tyler's not here. Tyler went away. Tyler's gone.
What?
This is impossible. No, this is crazy.
People do it every day. They talk to themselves. They see themselves as they'd like to be. They don't have the courage you have to just run with it. Naturally, you're still wrestling with it, so sometimes you're still you.
We should do this again sometime.
Other times, you imagine yourself watching me.
This is your first night.
only exists in the industry. They want anybody that can lead a people. Anytime somebody tell you they'll pay for your airfare because they want to battle you and they want you to be a part of this battling, don't you take that plane ticket, man. Because 9 times out of 10, when you get there, they're going to put something in your drink. You ain't going to remember shit because when you wake up, you're going to be under hypnosis. You don't think the reptile is real? The reptile is very real. You don't think lizards are from the demigods exist? The only way that these demigods can live, they have to get into a human format because their life as reptiles is only so long. They have to be able to be in a human format to live for a long time.
And this video on strangerfiction.com. You can go donate to it, to the brother that got it up.
And once they get in a human format, they clone that human over and over again. Did y'all know that Gaddafi is not dead? He was cloned. I told you. I got something for you tonight. I'm going to lay it on you because a lot of y'all think you want to hear some good stuff, but sometimes y'all just want entertainment. I'm not entertainment. I'm going to give it to you from the hip. Yes, I'm humorous because that's the way the Lord made us. We want to be able to give you some truth, but at the same time, have you have a little laughter behind it, but the truth stands alone. Behind all the BS and after the laughter, the truth still stands on its own. Their dialects in their eyes, their body movement. Sometimes they get sluggish. They forget what they say. They contradict a lot of things they say. And you probably say, well, Yash, I don't get it. A lot of them don't have to. Listen.
Genetic manipulation at ScienceDirect.com. This is what I'm reading. Genetic manipulation, the process of inducing changes in gene expressions and the expression of novel genes, has proven to be an indispensable tool in recent genetic research. The implementation of increasingly powerful genetic tools to mouse embryonic stem cells has led to an explosion of data concerning the specific properties of an extremely large array of genes. So they've been manipulating genes for a long time, family. But many people don't get all these shots, go to the doctor so often, family. So that's why they're trying to push it out so hard, family. We're in that time of the New World Order, the time of World War, destruction, famine, plagues. That's what they call them, the Great Reset or whatever. They want to reset the minds. And they're doing genetic manipulation. They want to have control over the bodies, family. Pew Research Center. Experts say the rise of artificial intelligence will make most people better off over the next decade, but many have concerns about how advances in AI will affect what it means to be human, to be productive, and to exercise free will.
If they think they didn't clone Malcolm X, by the way. But if they think you another Malcolm X, they're gonna clone you first before they kill the first you. But there's nobody as powerful like Malcolm out here, man. You understand? So I'm just making a point where if you're a person that can move people and get shit started, and like I said, they have an interest in you. When they tell you we'll fly you out, we want to have a sit down with you, they're going to put something in your drink, your food, some type way. Even when they accidentally bump up against you, they have a needle that hit you. You don't even know what it was. It feel like a mosquito bite, but they just hit you with a needle. And then 5 minutes later, you fall asleep. You don't even remember nothing. They just put a chip in your neck, man. Farrakhan is chipped. He got the same chipping process as Gaddafi. And I wouldn't be surprised if they clone Farrakhan and kill the real Farrakhan. And y'all probably saying, well, Yash, that don't make sense. Why would they want to kill Farrakhan and keep, because they want to work his mind? The man is very intelligent. See, a lot of times they want to keep you alive just to pimp your brain. And when they put you under hypnosis and MLK and they can chip you, you totally submissive to them.
Damn, how you seeing what you saying?
I'm not crazy at all, okay? Everybody always saying that Dirty is crazy. Dirty is not crazy at all.
We go. The term natural can be pretty confusing because the federal government does not regulate most foods that are labeled as natural. So can anyone define what natural means on a food label? As long as the food does not contain added color, artificial flavors, or synthetic substances, the Food and Drug Association does not object to the use of the word natural on the label. Although people may believe that the food labels as natural contain no preservatives or additives, in fact, manufacturers may add substances naturally derived from foods to preserve or enhance flavor. The United States Department of Agriculture does define natural for meat and poultry products on a meat label. The word naturally raised means that the animal had not been exposed to growth promoters. Most antibiotics or animal byproducts, naturally raised meat also can't contain any artificial ingredients or be more than minimally processed. But they've been cloning animals, fam. They've been cloning all types of things. That's why they're in the stores now. They've been tricking the labels also, fam. What is a GMO? Genetically modified organisms are living organisms whose genetic material has been artificially manipulated in a laboratory through genetic engineering. This creates combinations of plant, animals, bacteria, and virus genes that do not occur in nature or through traditional crossbreeding methods. They want to bring you into this artificial world, family. They want you in the matrix inside of a matrix, family.
No, Dirty just foresee a lot that a lot of people don't foresee.
And by the way, white men are not that damn smart. Neither are these Jewish men. They're getting all this from the demigods, Satan, fallen angels. The Lord gave Satan who? Earth. The land been given to the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked?
That's
Satan.
facts.
Satan have many employers out there. Cloning is one. Reptiles is another. They live in you. And most of these creatures that live in human bodies are reptiles. But once they become of human, they can stay in that human body for a very long time. But if that human body were to get crashed or killed, which they wouldn't because they got powers, don't get it twisted. Okay? But if they did, they have about 5 more lined up. The first cloning may take, I think when they first clone a human being, it takes 3 to 6 months. Maybe sometimes a year, depending on the technology. But
once again, you can find this video on strangerfiction.com, family.
Usually, with the technology they got, between 6 to 7 months to clone a human being. They need their tissues, their brain cells, and all that. They'll clone a human. Okay. After that first human is cloned, they can clone you every hour thereafter. So if they want to make 20 of you, they could. If they want to make 10 of you, they could. When you saw
Let me read that scripture again. Acts 7:48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. So these temples, these clone bodies, all this in genetic manipulation and these laboratories, Most High dwelleth not in those temples made by man, family.
Saddam Hussein, that was not the real Saddam Hussein. He did not die like that. Saddam, they got rid of Saddam in the early 90s, but they was using his clones to have fun with you, to be amused. That was not the real Saddam, but he acted just
That's
like
facts, family. That's
Michael
what they
Jackson is not dead.
Cloning is a big profitable program for them, family. They can have 5 clones, one doing a show in different countries. Big profits. They can have clones set for hits, set to do dirty work for Hollywood. It's all big money to them, and it's all controlled to destroy the minds and to try to destroy the creation. They want to destroy the descendants of Adam, family, because we are the gods of the earth.
Michael Jackson doesn't look anything the way he did. The slim Michael Jackson, because they know that's what y'all like. The Michael Jackson that y'all saw dancing with James.
They put the effeminate Michael Jackson out there. You see that? They cloned him in a effeminate, gay, real gay look.
Brown, that was a clone. They had to keep fixing on it because the clone was breaking down. He wasn't going into surgeries. See, clones also can't gain weight. So basically what they did, they had to keep doctoring on.
And that's how they get a lot of these celebrities to do what they want, because a lot of them are clones. So they do all these homosexual acts to promote it to the masses. Family. They do all these wicked things, make wicked music, to promote it to the masses. They'll kill off the original if he doesn't want to go along with the program. Or they'll still keep him alive and have clones of the original. But they got different ways of doing it, family.
On the clone of Michael, who was alive, the one that was dancing with Michael, or the dance with James Brown. Okay, that Michael Jackson, that wasn't the real Michael. The when they cloned it, Michael, that clones don't grow hair. So in other words, however they clone you, whatever you have, that's how you're gonna come out. That's just.
And another thing, family, if you study science, you know, in the scriptures, you find out the memory is in the blood. That's what it says. The life is in the blood. You go through science, you find out the memories are in your blood. More than just that, but the memories are in your blood. So that's how they're able to make these clones and have memories. And they can reprogram memories, family. Beware of these devices of Satan, the devil, and his people, and their works, family. We must destroy it.
How the clone produce. So in other words, if you're a person that have long hair, however they clone you, that's how the clone gonna look. When they clone Michael Jackson, his hair was never attached.
That's another reason they digging up tombs of Egyptian pharaohs and all these people from the ancient times. They've been digging them back up. They get genetics to try to find blood samples and make clones of these, and they've been doing it and making a lot of them celebrities. And they've been doing it thousands of years, family. So a lot of them ancient people who are doing it, trying to be revered as gods, the fallen ones, and the fallen angels, and the hybrids, family. They've been cloning. They also been transferring consciousness. Then they just bring this technology back.
Because the first Michael Jackson that was cloned, his head was in a third to fourth degree burn in Pepsi commercial. He lost half his head. I mean, it wasn't gone, but it was it was very badly burned. Michael Jackson looked like a monster. Okay, and he was still slim. So they cloned him while he was under the knife. And when they cloned him, they needed 2 years to remake him because he didn't look nothing like Michael Jackson. I don't know if y'all can peep game. So when they cloned him, they had to make him lighter and make up this skin disease because his skin didn't look the same. His body, they changed everything about him. In the end, when Michael was looking really, really bad, the clone body was breaking down because.
You can support this brother on the strangerfiction.com on Patreon, fam.
Clones don't think like humans. Clones have to have people around them to tell them what they do because they get adolescence. They can't think properly. It's called handlers, right? So when Michael started to break down, his body was breaking down. His nose was artificial. I don't know if y'all noticed. Go back and Google Michael Jackson nose. It looks like a robot because it wasn't him. His whole head was a wig. It was a cap because when they first cloned Michael, he didn't have any hair. It all burnt off in the Pepsi commercial. They put Michael in a capsule and cloned it. Brought him back 2 years as the clone, and Michael Jackson was watching all of this like, I can't believe they're doing this. So what happened to Michael? He just lived his life. Michael Jackson is still alive. He's already appeared on TV, but y'all didn't even know who he was. Go back and watch the CNN of Larry King, the guy with the glasses.
Dave.
The real bad burnt victim that played like Michael Jackson Satan when he was a kid. That's Michael Jackson. It burned him so bad it disfigured him. It tore up his skin. It did everything to him. You understand what I'm telling you? And also, after Michael was cloned, the real Michael Jackson, they bleached his skin so he would look nothing like Michael. If you look at the dude who was on Larry King telling you about his childhood, how Michael Jackson helped him, he looks just like Michael. Just look at his eyes. That's Michael Jackson. He's disfigured. That's how he looked when he got done with the Pepsi commercial.
Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing, longtime Michael Jackson friend attending the funeral, and Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries. Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
How did he find out about you, Dave?
He heard about me, and he had contacted me and wanted to meet me.
How old were you at the time?
I was about 7 years old at the time.
And were you in the hospital?
I was not in the hospital at the time. I was in interim back and forth from surgery.
And what did he do for you?
Well, basically, he befriended me. He took me into his life, which is very rare for Michael to do. But he opened up his arms to me and accepted me as a very good friend of his. And throughout the years, he never let me go.
Were you surprised, Dave, to hear from him when you were 7?
Oh, it's a very interesting story, Larry. It was kind of, the visit to his Encino house was very impromptu. I think,
so I starts laughing because I didn't recognize him, He's like, no, listen, you gotta check this out. I said, well, let's go. And he paused for a minute. He's like, okay, let's do it tomorrow. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I don't know how we expect to go to the movies, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Michael Jackson. Like, how the hell are we gonna actually go to the movies? So the next day, he calls my room. We was both staying at the Palm in Vegas. He's like, you ready? I'm ready. I was like, yeah, let me get dressed. But at the time, I thought he was just joking. I didn't think he was really, I thought he was going to probably just rent, we go through the back late night or something. This is broad daylight. And so he grabbed the kids. They looking normal. Mike comes out. He has his disguise on, So I starts laughing because I didn't recognize him, It wasn't like he had a fake mustache or he had a wig or nothing. He just had a simple hoodie on. So when you look at it, he could have easily passed to be a Saudi or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going into the mall. We get on the elevator, go down. We're going through the hotel where they have the IMAX thing.
They know, family. They know.
And as soon as we walk in, all these kids start coming running towards us, So I'm like, oh, damn, I think they know who he is. And all the kids just caught running up to me, asking me for an autograph. So I'm like, okay, I should just go ahead and should I just toss him off before they recognize who he is or just play it cool? So he shakes his head and like as if, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do. So I sit, I'm signing autographs, taking pictures, and I'm looking at these kids' faces and they not even knowing that Mike is standing right next to me. Like, if they only knew this guy was standing right next, you know how much havoc that would have caused up in that place? So we get into the theater and
I'll probably bring out some more stuff in a few more days on this, family, or whatever. But I like to give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Kahalam no yo, bashum masha yo sha. KLT. Follow me, I am the leader. Stepping on them like I'm coming for freedom. Marching on them for them starving, tell me who gon' feed them. They won't walk over X when you need them. Black Panther, no Disney movie, we gon' walk them down with them eagles. Free them, they say what they like it's flattery. I speak the truth in this prophecy. Stay strapped with that sword in the eye to be. Like Moses, son, so look, come follow me. Long way from that store where them pilots be. I had that roll, no total, no bother me. Sitting at the top, no monopoly. I ain't the one coming follow me. Running the game so long in the breather. Strikes on my back that they beat them. Gotta stay strong, you must finish my weed. Gotta stay young, let that switch up that the light when they see me. I'm the red in the game, so you better take it easy. Stepping on my toes, you don't really wanna see me. They hit it, then they go Houdini. Trying to make me stand rubbing on my knuckle, I'm pop out like a genius. Still my grind, you know, we break, running it back, and I call it that replay. I wanted it back, they on my back. They don't wanna balance that swim, what we say.